Today, I want to have a very important conversation on the idea of customization. Customization is this concept that we have a standard practice in our organization that works in every country and works in every place, but we get to a new place or a new country and they seem to want something different. They seem to need something special. Customization is doing something different than everywhere else. We try to customize for certain reasons, but in most cases, we try to stay with our standard practices. And what I want to do today is talk about, when do you customize? When do you decide that this is a scenario that allows us to do something different than all the others? As I do this, I want to talk about the three columns of decision. This is a conversation we've been having in our RLMs and in our coaching meetings. And we're talking about understanding TTI. We have three columns. The first column is where TTI expects alignment. For example, TTI expects alignment across our countries, across our work, in our mission, our vision, our values, how we do finances, how we raise up Paul's, Timothy's, Titus's, master trainers, movement leaders. In our organizational structures, we expect alignment in those things. There's a second column of things that we simply don't do as an organization. We don't build buildings. We don't promote political parties. There are certain things that belong in this second column. And there's a third column where it's not something that we expect alignment, but it is something that we do, and we have to ask a customization question. Again, this can be very confusing, and so I'm trying to bring clarity to when do we customize and when do we just align with what's happening in the work at TTI around the world. In customization, there needs to be clarity in what's decided locally, continentally, and globally. This gets into the decision-making power conversation that will be part of another video. But we want to make sure that decisions that are decided at the global level are held to at the continental and national and local level. Things that are made at the continental level are held to at the local and national level. And things that are local decisions, well, that's where customization tends to happen. Customized decision-making naturally flows into customized decisions. Leaders must discern whether customization results in bad, good, or best practices. A best practice means this is something we will do across the board. Anytime we get to this scenario, this is what we want everyone to do. So let's ask 4 questions about customization, and I'm probably going to give you more explanation than I normally do in these questions. Question number 1 we want to ask when we're deciding whether or not to customize is it effective? See, TTI operates under a rigid rule of flexibility, which means that we evaluate our methods often and hold our tactics loosely. In other words, if it's an effective method, we will probably consider that as a possible customization. A leader's desire to customize for many bad reasons, though. Sometimes we customize because this is the way we've always done it. It's our preference. It's convenient. It's comfortable. It's easy. Some people just love change. They don't like doing the same thing over and over again. These are all bad reasons for customizing. Some will also claim that there's a cultural context that necessitates a different approach. Many times I hear, well, you don't understand our culture. And I think culture's okay, but if it's contrary to the Bible, then whatever the culture teaches is not okay. If culture goes against Christ, if culture goes against Scripture, then we're simply not going to do it. But we're asking the question, is it effective? The best reason for change is that it works better than the way we've been doing it in the past. Change that increases our quality or increases our quantity should always be considered. However, that's just the first question. There's a second question. Is it repeatable? Is it reproducible? Sometimes the solution works for a specific place or people or time or scenario, and it makes sense in the moment with the resources that we have. But sometimes customized solutions are necessary due to urgency or uniqueness of the circumstance. Yet every unique solution may be a departure from trusted practices and known principles. When you're asking the question, is it repeatable? It's this: can it be done elsewhere? Can we do it not just once in our country or one local area in our country, but can we do it in several places? Is this something that can be done over and over and over? A customization that's not reproducible becomes a real problem because it's typically limited by the person who's doing it and their skill set, or by the situation in the local situation where it's being done. Solutions that can work for more than one people or one place or one time or one scenario and uphold our principles, which we call TTI wisdom, are preferred over those that can't work in other places and with other people and other times and other scenarios, and don't uphold our principles. Is it repeatable? Is it reproducible? Is the second question. The third question is it transferable? Now we're talking about whether it not just works in one country, but can it work in another country, another time, another place. TTI operates in 42 countries right now, translates into 55 languages, and works in hundreds of cultures. And TTI strives to create solutions that can work for all people, all places, and all times. Any customization that works only in one culture or one country or one situation is never an ideal solution. Uniqueness often results in a lot of hard things. Sometimes when something unique happens in one country versus another, the other country says, well, why can't we do that too? And how come we don't get to do that? And there's this sense of maybe there's favoritism. Maybe one country is favored over the other. Bottom line, it breeds discontentment from other places. And so we're very careful not to customize in one country over another just because of the preferences of a leader, because it leads to discontent among our people when others hear about it. There's a cry of being unfair in those scenarios. When something transfers across countries and cultures, however, it's not only transferable, it's most likely trainable. And when something is trainable, it has the potential of growing in improvement and increasing in impact. In other words, sometimes the first time we customize something, it's not the best, but it's better than what we've been doing. And we can continue to improve it. We can also train others to do it. If a customization is not trainable, it's not transferable. If you can't teach someone else to do it, then it's unique to your situation, and it's probably not a good customization. The last question is this: is it practical? Is it practical? Remember, we talked about, is it effective? And it may be effective in one scenario, but is it practical deals with a different issue, because customization always comes with a cost. It costs us to do something different in your country and your scenario than it does to do it in all the other countries, all the other scenarios that we are in. A customization, by definition, is a departure from standard practice. Exceptions often have higher costs. And when I say cost, I'm not talking just about money. Departure from what everyone else does has the potential to cost money, but also time, leadership, training, focus. Sometimes it costs us trust, again, because others are wondering why we're only doing that in one place. At the same time, if the answers of the four questions are yes about a customization, in other words, it's effective, it's trainable, it's repeatable, it's transferable, it's practical, it may actually be a needed innovation that can make TTI better around the world. So we're not against customization. We just want it to work for everyone if possible. We want to learn how to do things better and how to do things with cheaper, with less time, with less money, the repeatable and the training, all these different things. So let me go back to the four questions again. Is it effective? Does it work? Is it repeatable? Can it work in more than one place? Is it transferable? Can we train others to do it? Is it practical? Is it costing us less time, less money, less leadership, less trust to do something different? If so, this is a great opportunity for us to customize our work in TTI and learn from it and grow as a ministry.